In just 30 days, the world's global oil inventories have suddenly dropped by an unprecedented 18.5 billion barrels. That drain on the world's energy buffer is manifesting at the consumer level as empty pumps and severe fuel rationing. The energy shortage is already bleeding into the food supply, leaving refrigerated supermarket shelves completely bare. Rosenberg Research has mapped the exact timeline remaining. If the transit impasse extends past an 8-week window, ending in July, global growth is projected to drop to 2%. That is the threshold for a worldwide recession. To understand how a single geographic choke point is draining domestic bank accounts, we have to look at the commodities trapped behind the blockade and who stands to profit from keeping them there. The crisis began on February 28th, when U.S. and Israeli strikes, designated Operation Epic Fury, escalated into a full kinetic war with Iran. Iran closed the Strait of Hormuz, the primary artery for the planet's energy grid, halting all traffic. This blockade immediately trapped 20 million barrels of crude daily, while global liquefied natural gas supply plunged 20%. Markets reacted instantly to the loss of daily flow, driving crude oil prices violently past the $100 a barrel mark. While energy was the first domino to fall, the blockade also traps the industrial commodities required to sustain global manufacturing. The Middle East is the primary price setter for critical industrial inputs, including sulfur, aluminum, and helium. The most significant non-oil export caught in the blockade is the global supply of fertilizer. This creates what analysts call the fertilizer food nexus. Qatari natural gas is the essential chemical feedstock required to produce nitrogen-based fertilizers. Without that feedstock, the world faces a fertilizer cliff. Global crop yields are projected to drop by 50% for the upcoming sowing season. This collision of supply disruption, corporate earnings panic, and demand destruction forms a triple shockwave, ensuring the energy crisis materializes as a global grocery emergency. To bypass the blocked strait, maritime trade is rerouting around the Cape of Good Hope. That detour adds weeks of transit time and requires massive amounts of expensive bunker fuel. Those soaring freight costs are combining with high oil prices to create a cost-price spiral that inflates the price of nearly every imported good. This specific inflation trap paralyzes central banks, rendering their standard monetary tools ineffective. Incoming Fed Chair Kevin Warsh and the European Central Bank have been forced to postpone interest rate reductions because inflation expectations have become completely unanchored. The combination of frozen supply chains and elevated interest rates points directly toward stagflation, locking in the 8-week recession countdown. The July deadline is not a worst-case scenario. It is the predictable outcome of our highly optimized just-in-time logistics network. As the International Journal for Multidisciplinary Research notes, the global economy lacks the structural redundancy to absorb a total stoppage. Strategic reserves are mathematically insufficient to cover the shortfall of 4 to 6 million barrels daily, leaving the system in permanent deficit. For the general public, the recession is no longer a forecast. The financial pain is already manifesting in the real economy. While everyday people face $5 gas and empty shelves, a select group is extracting massive wealth from the market's volatility. The hub of this wealth transfer is Switzerland, home to the world's elite commodity trading desks. These firms are engaging in physical arbitrage. By exploiting the closed strait, they are capturing margins of up to $30 per barrel, a massive increase over their standard penny per volume returns. Trading giants such as Vitol, Trafigura, and Glencore are reporting billions in windfall profits. This has led to international calls for a windfall profits tax to recover the wealth being redistributed from consumers to the energy and fertilizer sectors. The Hormuz shockwave has enabled a rapid redistribution of capital, triggering a recession for the public while generating a historic windfall for the trading elite. But these houses aren't acting alone. In our next video, we'll expose the shadow fleets orchestrating the actual movement of oil.